Narcissistic abuse has a profound impact on victims, from negative emotional and cognitive changes to health issues. When a narcissist constantly invalidates you, you start to doubt yourself. They may belittle your favorite movie or dish, mock you for loving a certain color, or they may make you feel ashamed or even stupid for liking a specific song or wanting to follow a certain career path. This often has the effect of victims abandoning their identity to please the narcissist, or never forming an identity of their own if they were brought up in a narcissistic environment. You may like what the narcissist likes in hopes of pleasing them. When you break free from their manipulation, you may feel lost. You may not know what your favorite food is, what your favorite color is, or why. And you may not even know what you want out of life and what you want to become, which is the first strange behavior as it looks to others as if you don't even know yourself, and as if you are not taking life seriously or not making an effort to live your life. But to you, you may feel lost and confused as to who you are and what your purpose in life is. Victims of narcissistic abuse are often constantly told they are wrong. Frequently, there may be severe consequences for displeasing the narcissist, such as being yelled at, called disgusting names, or even assaulted. Victims begin to distrust their own decision-making and may struggle to make even benign decisions, such as do they want orange or apple juice with their meal. More important decisions may cause anxiety in them, as they fear making a mistake and facing the wrath of a narcissist. They may ask others to make decisions for them, or ask others to validate the decisions they made, which is the second strange behavior. As to others, it may look as if the victim is insecure or indecisive, and that they have difficulty making decisions. Victims may also often change their mind on things as they may fear having made the wrong decision. This can be frustrating to people around them who may think they cannot trust the victim's word. But for the victim, it can be hell, as they know every decision they make will be scrutinized, and they may need to defend even the most trivial decision, or may be mocked for, say, choosing orange juice over apple juice. The constant criticism of their choices will slowly chip away at the victim's confidence. This may cause victims to be filled with anxiety or fear just thinking about needing to do a task or making a decision. Narcissists need to be the center of attention in a relationship. They have little regard for the needs of others and feel entitled to always have things go their way. With their low empathy for others and little thought about how others feel, they often invalidate other people's ideas, needs, and feelings. A narcissist may call you selfish if you do not want to do what they want to do or do not want to give in to their demands. They may even abuse you verbally or physically if you do not give them what they want. This fear of upsetting the narcissist causes victims to frequently forgo their own needs and only focus on the needs of a narcissist, which often spills over to their interactions with others, especially if they grew up in a toxic home. You may find yourself always worrying about what the other person wants if they are happy, and feel obligated to help or make them happy if they are upset, even if it is to your detriment. It may feel selfish to say no to someone, and you may feel ashamed of yourself if someone asked you for something and you said no, even if you truly could not help. This brings us to the third behavior, which may come off as people-pleasing to others, where you fear even saying the wrong thing to someone and hurting their feelings, while allowing people to exploit and mistreat you. But for the victim, pleasing others has become a defense tactic where they focus only on surviving today, as they fear the consequences of saying no or upsetting people. In some cases, their confidence and self-esteem have been shattered so much that they think they are only a good person if they do things for others, and that they are a bad person if they say no to people and do not help out, even when it is not their responsibility. Narcissists often do and say illogical things. Frequently, it is because they think differently than normal people and have grandiose ideas that are not rooted in reality. They also have weird beliefs and views of life. Unfortunately, they have a fragile ego where anytime their ideas, actions, words, or beliefs are questioned or shown to be incorrect, it causes extreme insecurity to rise up in them. Unable to deal with these insecurities, they express and deal with them by venting their frustration onto those around them in anger outbursts or playing the victim. This can cause victims to fear saying or doing anything that can cause a narcissist to explode. For the victim, it may feel as if they are walking on cracked ice, where any misstep can have severe consequences for them. This causes the fourth behavior, where victims become hypervigilant to the slightest sign of danger. Victims will often constantly scan other people's body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and even what they are saying for signs that the victim has upset the person. They may constantly scan their environment for perceived threats and may start to experience anxiety when they hear others argue, hear loud noises, or lots of people talking, such as in a shopping center. For other people, it may look like the victim is a rubber band fully wound up and ready to snap at the slightest poke. It can make it difficult for a victim and other people to interact normally. In some cases, victims can collapse in a sudden rush of fear when someone suddenly talks behind them or just unexpectedly walk into a room where the victim is. A sudden noise, such as an object falling or a dog barking, can cause victims to almost get a heart attack, making it hard for them to be in public. A narcissist's actions and words often do not make logical sense to others, especially when they start to blame shift and gaslight the victim. This can be extremely confusing to victims, which frequently results in them spending hours or even days replaying conversations or events in their heads to try to figure out the narcissist or what happened. You may be trying to figure out what you said or did wrong to make the narcissist suddenly explode into a rage, or trying to work out if you are in fact remembering things wrongly as the narcissist claims you are. This constant analyzing normally spills over to other areas of victims' lives, which is the fifth behavior where victims analyze other people's words or text messages for hints that they upset them. If you send a text message and a person takes longer than normal to respond, you may fear you said something wrong and upset them. You may repeatedly go over the conversation to see any fault until they respond. Victims also normally try to analyze every small detail about the narcissist for warning flags that the narcissist has been upset. They may do the same with other people and may start to probe the other person if they are okay or if the victim said anything to upset them. For other people, it may come off as if the victim is taking things too seriously and reading too deeply into words or actions that have no meaning. This may cause others to fear saying or doing something the victim may take the wrong way, which could strain relationships and even cause misunderstandings when the victim misinterprets actions or reads a hidden meaning in a message that was not there. Victims of narcissistic abuse, especially those who grew up in a narcissistic environment, often take on the belief that they are always wrong. This is a defense mechanism where they learn that standing up for yourself can have severe consequences, and it is better to just accept blame for anything you are accused of. Which brings us to the sixth behavior where victims immediately assume guilt and apologize when there is no need for it and it is clearly not their fault. They may stand in a shopping aisle and someone pushes their card into the victim and then the victim suddenly apologizes when they did nothing wrong. Or someone knocks over a glass of wine at a dinner table and they are filled with fear and excessively apologize, even though the other person tipped the glass over. This is often due to them being blamed for the narcissist mistakes. The victim then apologizes in an attempt to lessen the punishment they will receive, as they know to refuse to admit guilt will result in even worse punishment, because the narcissist then fears losing control over the victim, which triggers their insecurities, causing them to dial up the abuse and control in an attempt to regain control. But this can cause victims to be in automatic mode where they apologize for other people's mistakes and then feel obligated to make things right when they did nothing wrong. A victim may even feel anxious and compelled to pay at a checkout for someone else's groceries because they forgot their wallet at home, as if it was the victim's fault the other person forgot their wallet. With all the effects narcissistic abuse has on the victim, they frequently start to feel ashamed of themselves, what they have accomplished in life, and who they are. They may feel they are broken and that people think badly of them. This can cause a seventh behavior where victims self-isolate and pull back from social settings. They may refuse invitations to go out with friends, even after leaving the narcissist. They may refuse to share their experiences in fear that they will be judged or possibly mocked. This may come off to others as if the victim is unsocial, do not care to be with their friends, has something to hide for not sharing their past, and not being fun to be around with. It can make it hard for others to trust the victim and for the victim to trust others. Victims may appear to be a buzzkill as they may struggle to be in lively social settings and seem withdrawn and unhappy, causing others to think that the victim does not approve of the event or other people. This may further cause people to not want to hang out with the victim, which can cause the victim to see this as further proof that they are broken and worthless. This can cause victims to feel extremely lonely and as if others do not want to be with them or are unable to understand them. Learn more about narcissism by watching the video suggested to you right now.